Um, and we can draw parallels from the software industry, because software industry has already gone through that phase where developers used to write code by hand. They used to test it, they used to validate it, promote it, and so on, but they don't do it anymore. A lot of them are using vibe coding. A lot of them are using different kind of software or different AI models in order to generate code. A lot of them are using agents in order to, when I write code, the agent is going to test it, someone else is going to validate it, someone else is going to promote it, and so on. When that starts to happen, what can a developer focus on? If I am a single person, let's say I'm a single person company and I had to write code and then do all that work and then focus on promoting my code to App Store, simplest example. My biggest time was spent on creating the app, not making sure that it is functioning the way I wanted, because I may not have the capability and so on. Not focusing on the business side of it. Biggest focus was on the technical side of it. The same exact thing is going to happen in mechanical world as well, where in past, instead of writing code, our engineers are creating shapes one at a time. A lot of them need creative ideas, because AI is essentially what was existing in past. AI can extrapolate to give you some variations. AI is not going to give you a new solution which has never been thought before. AI can brainstorm with you, but you are the one who is going to come up with a new solution. AI is not going to come up with a new solution. So using AI, our engineers will be able to, even at the brainstorming session, brainstorm with it to come up with bright ideas. Once you have a bright idea, how do you convert it into a virtual twin? There AI will help you to get there faster. If you get there faster, ensuring that that virtual twin, you can experiment with it in the virtual world itself to ensure that when it goes into production, no problem happens. There AI will help you. Reducing the cost, etc., AI will help you. Releasing to the customer and then giving it to end customers, so you can focus more on where the value is. Where is the value? In the entire scope of engineering job, the value is that first, my idea, that is my value. Once I have an idea, converting it into a virtual twin is my value. Converting that virtual twin into a manufacturable object is my value. Ultimately, when I ship it, the money that comes back is the only measure of value, right? Right. How do I maximize that money coming back? By reducing all this. This is what it is all about. So in a similar way to software industry, where the writing and developing code has been shrunk so that I can focus more on the value that I am creating and the business aspect of things. The same will happen where places where a human being is important, they'll be able to focus on. Places where it is literally clicking one button at a time to create something, it's not really that valuable. You're doing things which needs to be done today, hopefully not tomorrow. This is the fundamental reason why we are calling it a virtual companion and not a virtual worker. Virtual companion is essentially a friend of yours who is sitting next to you, helping you. It is not taking control. So in my example, when I am building my table, I want the virtual companion to help me, but eventually it is me who is building the table, right? So in a similar way, we always see human in the loop. We do not see AI to take control of everything. We see human in the loop. Human is the intelligence, it is artificial intelligence. Human is the one who is going to decide what is right, what is wrong. This will not decide what is right, what is wrong. It can give you suggestions, etc., right? So when you say, can it go into a cycle where it is just coming up with optimized design of what was done in past? This is where if the input itself can be refined by the human being, output will improve. So, simplest example, if I am creating autonomous vehicle, self-driven vehicle, and my instruction to the vehicle is that when I press the pedal, car should go forward. It will work, but even if there is a wall, the car will go forward. Even if there is a person, the car will go forward. So the instruction that is given to this system is very important. And in a similar way, when I'm a designer, the instructions, the beginning instructions will be the ideation phase itself. The beginning instructions are, how do I communicate with Aura in order to come up with, brainstorm with Aura to come up with new ideas. And Aura is not limited to what can be manufactured. So, were you in the AI session that I had before?
Yeah.
So I explained how there are 3 different companions. Aura is not supposed to ground you in reality. Aura is supposed to give you it will brainstorm with you to give you even crazy ideas. It is not grounded in reality. Leo is grounded in reality in the sense what can be engineered or manufactured. So combination of that, where you as an engineer are brainstorming on all possible variations, not just what exists, what might exist with Aura, which is not constrained to be in a certain box, will give you better ideas. And if you have a better idea, then you can use Leo to convert that better idea into a manufacturable solution. So by doing these different, by breaking our offer into 3 virtual companions, that is the fundamental reason why we did that we want you to start in an unchained environment, then define what you want to do, then only go into an environment where you can create manufacturable objects without worrying about whether it can be manufactured, is it costly, is it the best possible optimal route, and so on. Then only you go into kind of scientific exploration, because by doing that combination, the first approach, which is unboxed, gives you the freedom not to get chained into an environment which is only looking at the past. The best way is to embrace it. I once heard a quote that if you are afraid of something and you start to do things to protect yourself, that fear will cause you more harm. So you have to face that fear. In a similar way, today my message is that embrace AI. In everything that you do, right from whatever, in your daily life, in your professional life, in anywhere you want to go, embrace it. Because when you embrace it, what will happen is that you will use AI in certain areas, which will give you ideas how I'm going to use it in the other area. Being afraid means you will go in a shell and others are going to go ahead of you. So don't shun AI. Embrace it. Use it, learn from it, see how it can help you, because if it can help you in one area, it will help you in the other area. If you do not embrace it, there is a famous quote of Jensen Huang, who's going to be on stage tomorrow, where he says that AI is never going to take away your job. The person using AI will.
Great. Thank you. So Manish, thank you very much for your perspectives, and it is inspiring how to see that also technology is moving beyond being just a toolbox to become an intellectual partner, empowering human talent to build the future of your industry.
Thank you so much for coming here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Great, very good.